Today we're watching The Five, and Harold Ford on The Five, he's like Jessica Tarlov in a tie. This time he is defending Alvin Bragg and the New York political justice system, and man, is he naive. The poor guy. And Tyrus, who's a giant gorilla, almost eats him alive. Welcome to Doug in Exile. This is where the happy patriots are. This is an incredible success story on Trump visiting this little bodega, these little shops in New York, and it proves his campaign is still strong. He's beating the living daylights out of Biden, even accidentally over these trials. The trials, once again, they're probably the best thing to happen to his campaign. Let's watch.
When you think about Donald Trump as a candidate for office and as a political athlete, I say often he's as gifted a political athlete as I've ever seen.
This times of Trump on the street and out with the people is the best stuff. It's like a whistle stop campaign on the back of a train. He comes out, it's small and local. He's no longer big and obscene in a giant arena. He's small and intimate with the people. This is actually his strength. And this is kind of new. It's more human, more intimate. It's better for him.
I don't agree with a lot of his things, but you have to respect the business and understand how politics is, the art of politics is litigated.
Yeah, instead of art of the deal, he needs to have written a book called Art of Politics, because Trump as a politician, everyone goes, he's not a politician, he's a businessman. No, guys, he's a politician, and he's an amazingly good one.
He goes to a bodega. He was at, I think, at a gas station a day or so before. This is as good a campaigning as you can do. Now, whether some may argue or say that the crowd was scripted, whatever happened there, it looked good.
It looked good, and it is good. Trump genuinely loves the people. Remember, this is already after he went out to the crowds yesterday and said, hey, everybody, and little minority kids are going, we love Trump. Now he visits a bodega. Remember a couple days ago, he was at a Chick-fil-A, and this black girl came up and they gave each other this huge hug. It was really warm. It's like, this is like politicians get criticized for like kissing babies and stuff like that. But this is real human interaction, real touching, not Trump on a giant arena. And then the TV coverage sends this out. He's human. He's great. He loves minorities. By the way, Trump went to Chick-fil-A not out of faking it, like when Biden was sitting there eating fried chicken with two black people. They scripted, totally fake, total propaganda. No, Trump already loves junk food. He loves Big Macs. He loves buying people shakes. He went to that Chick-fil-A, was natural. So even that he would go to a bodega is actually something Trump would do.
This is the kind of theater you want when you're in a campaign. And he was able to highlight, in addition to that, an issue that is on the forefront of a lot of voters' minds, not just in New York, but everywhere: law and order and crime.
Remember, in New York, this is Alvin Bragg losing, because Alvin Bragg, there was at one of these bodegas, one of these minority criminals came in and stabbed one of the owners, and Alvin Bragg let him go. So this is how Alvin Bragg is bad on crime, reduces sentences on them, and all of New York knows it. And then they do the opposite against Trump. They raise it up to saying he's a felon of some kind, that he's no longer guilty of a misdemeanor. See, this does tie into the entire Alvin Bragg is evil. And Harold Ford is so naive. I feel almost bad for him. But you know what? The problem is you're so naive that you're getting us all killed.
I'll refrain from some of the conversation and the analysis around D.A. Bragg. But if you look at what, to the judge's point, this juxtaposition of Donald Trump there versus the trial, this is what's going to be talked about.
This also removed Trump falling asleep during the jury selection. He goes out and he does, you see, they think they're winning because they're taking him off the campaign trail. But this is a much better campaign trail to be on for Trump. He can do this for weeks and weeks and weeks. It's free. Also, it doesn't cost him anything. It's not scripted.
On the campaign itself, there's no doubt this is one of the smarter things the president could be doing.
Normally, when someone's in court or in trouble, the rule is always shut up and just win your case. Going out to the public is usually a bad idea. This is the one time it's a great idea. I think President Trump and his team is smart enough to know that whatever happens in the courtroom is already laid out. They know what's going on.
So that's Tyrus on, look, this courtroom, this court case, it's a loss. Trump's going to lose it, just so you guys know. I mean, I'm not saying he will, because they have to have a 100% jury. 100% of them have to agree. But Tyrus is saying, just so you know, this is about persecuting Trump. So ignore the court case. Watch Trump go out and still campaign.
So he's going to use this. His trial is going to be publicly. So he's doing things that the other president won't do, can't do. You can't have Joe show up at a bodega and answer questions because it'll get weird.
Yeah, and he is weird. There were some things where he'd go out on the campaign trail, holding hands with little kids. It looks like he's clutching them in his weird, just evil Joe moment. Remember when Joe came to New York with, it was Bill Clinton and Barack Obama. It was all staged. They were like, hundreds of feet from people away, keeping them away from touching the people. A giant fake event where they won't show you the crowds. It's all fake, all polished to cover up for Biden not being able to maintain a conversation. And then Trump's here going out there, frankly, exposing himself to danger and waiting among the people. And Trump is reliant on us, the people. He needs us to save him with our vote.
So what the president is doing is phenomenal in the sense where I think he's read the room. He's not going to get a fair trial in New York, but for all those days he's there, he's got free campaign money. So he's making up for that loss. They took $500 million away. Cool. I'll take the free press, which normally would cost candidates millions and millions of dollars. He's getting it every day.
Trump is getting $500 million in free press. So what's it matter if it costs him $500 million to pay for his buildings? It's free.
And as a former wrestler, he is a master at the promo. He needs to have a book called The Art of the Promo. He gets in front of the mic and he just drops it. The crowd's chanting. You can't manufacture that. You didn't hand out scripts for that, because if so, they would see it online right now. Everyone would have a thing of the.
Trump has always been organically viral. It's easy for him. Those of us, we have to get attention. You have to be natural like Trump. Just naturally gets good media.
So what he's doing is we're seeing in real time a living martyr, because he's dead in the courtroom, but his trial is in the public and he's winning in the public.
Yeah, the public knows his trial is fake. And then he comes out and people are leaning into him now, making the Democrat Party the evil ones. They're the Death Star. They're Darth Vader. They're Pontius Pilate. They're Rome against Jesus when it comes to, if we're talking about martyr analogies. The bad guy is the Democrat Party. And the people, the streets, are seeing Trump, a billionaire, and they're going, that guy's being martyred.
Can I ask you guys a question? Why do you, I'm gonna sit and listen to the facts. You think the jury has already decided? So I differ with you there. Maybe
Ford, oh dude, you're always the last to know. Wait a minute, you're telling me the jury? He's all shocked. Are you kidding me? Ford, where have you been? You think Trump's going to get a fair jury in New York? You're a child.
I just think the case in itself, first of all, it's a federal. Why is Bragg doing it anyways? But the other side of it is no one else is getting charged with this. No one. Like, it's crazy. The statute of limitations are out. It should have been a done deal. They found a way, like I said. So the one time, he said witch trial probably 50 times. This is the one time where it feels like a witch trial to the regular, I didn't pass the bar guy. But
no, I didn't pass the bar either, Tyrus. I hear you. But yeah, it feels like a witch trial. It is. Ford is so far behind on this one. Either he's lying or he's naive. He seems kind of childish and naive. Is he? Who are these people? Where have you been? Of course, it's a witch trial.
Neither did I, but that might be true what you're saying. But you still have to present the case, and the jury may reach the same.
Yeah, you still got to present the case, just as kind of checking a box. It's the jury selection that selects all these things, and this is ridiculous. I can't take Harold Ford seriously. He can't mean it. He has to be lying. He can't be this dumb.
There's no such thing as a fair trial when Manhattan is 90% Democrat, the defendant is a politician running for president.
I disagree with you
There should have been a change of venue in a county close to Manhattan where the same judge would try the case, but where at least they had a 50-50 like in a swing district.
By the way, Ford should know that in the South, it's why they started making rules of you can't have a 100% white jury looking at the trial of a black man being brought up on trial. Guess what happened in the South in the 50s, 60s, maybe even into the 70s, when you had a mostly white jury? Did a black man commit murder or not? And all these Southern racists would go, yes, he's guilty. So they go, you know what? We have to pass a law. We can't do that. It's not fair. He needs a jury of his peers, ideologically, maybe skin color even. Trump is up against a similar system as the black man against a 100% white jury in the 60s. They have bias. They hate him. They're not looking for blind justice. And that same civil rights law should be today 100% applies to political ideology or religion. Should a Jew stand before a jury of 12 Muslims who hate Israel? Should he? How's that fair? Are you crazy? Are you naive today?
If the jury pool is pulled from the voting rolls and they're 90% anti-Trump 4 years ago, let's stop kidding each other and making believe this is a fair trial.
Yeah, Ford, be a man, be an adult in the room. It's time for everyone to wake up. If 90% of the voter rolls are against Trump, this is not a fair jury pool to pull from in any way, sense, or form. This is not justice. This is corruption. This is formal American corruption. Like, this is a joke. Everyone should be laughing at this. Ford, you're so naive. It's hard to even believe that you believe what you're saying. I have to give you credit as an intelligent man and at least assume you're lying. I'm Doug in Exile.